come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far. Come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. Come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. Don't need care cash no more. Digital currency on overseas, we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top, we'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far. Come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. Come with me. We'll talk, but no places too far to go.
Great morning, great morning, great morning, beautiful people. How y'all doing today? Today is Thursday, April the 21st, right? Thursday, April the 21st. Welcome to Kaprese Coffee and Conversations with Chante Lloyd. And my special guest today is none other than Sharita Leon. Woo! Okay, so before I bring Sharita on, let me tell y'all something. I did not get a chance to work out with the workout team this morning, so I apologize if we started a minute late because the workout call was at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and as you all know, during the challenge, right, we have a challenge that's going on. It started April the 1st through the 25th. My workout calls were on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then I changed the workout call, my morning workout call, to Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we started a workout call in the evening time on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays during the challenge, right? And I totally forgot that this Thursday, which is today, was my Coffee and Conversations call at 8 o'clock. And the workout call was at 7. And so I didn't want to cancel it. I didn't want to change it. I didn't want to push it back. So what I did was I had Janella and Tammy Faye work out with JT. And of course, I welcomed everybody to the workout call and did my daily word, right? Made sure everybody had their little prayer ready. And looks like they had a great workout this morning. I hate I didn't get a chance to do it, but that's okay. Because I got a chance to get myself together and prepared to interview this beautiful young lady. The reason why I chose to interview Sharita Leon is, well, besides I love her spirit, I love her energy, I love her excitement, I love her drive. This young lady, right, is very, very, very driven, which is awesome because a lot of times things in life knock us down, and sometimes we fail to get back up. We allow things to get in the way of our dreams, our goals, our aspirations. But this young lady here does not, right? I wish that she sends me and places some of that energy and that excitement and that drive on me, because she is always doing something, right? She's always making sure that she is active, that she is full of energy, that she is making money, that she is showing her daughter. Oh my God, I have one earring on. One earring. That she is showing her daughter, wow, that she is showing her daughter that it does not matter what happens in life. You can continue to keep going. And that's important. You know what I'm saying? Because I talked about earlier on the call, these children nowadays, they're seeing big things in life, right? Living big, eating big, driving big, traveling all over the world. So can you imagine what their lives will be like when they become young adults, right? when you expose them to all the finer things in life, right? And so that's what she's doing for her daughter. So I want to step to the side and bring to the floor this beautiful young lady that I am just so happy and so blessed to be talking to this morning. None other than Miss Sharita Leon. Miss Leon, look at you, girl.
Great day, Queen Chante. How are you?
I'm awesome and amazing. How are you?
I am great and grateful. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on here this morning and for that amazing introduction. You have me a little teary-eyed.
I know you look fly, but you know what? I'm serious about that because a lot of times people they watch social media and they see people on social media and they see different situations happening in life and people fall and don't get up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the drive.
Yeah.
And it really does start here. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you were born or if you had a mom or if you didn't have a mom, if you had a dad or you didn't have a dad, or if you grew up in a dysfunctional home.
Mm-hmm.
What you have to understand is life is going to throw you curveballs.
Yes.
But it's what you do with it, right?
Yes.
And when you, a lot of times, I say this all the time, when you decide to become a parent, it's not about you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you do are basically to show your kids,
Right.
you know, they can be more, that they can have more, that they can be better than you. I
Yes.
would hope that that's what you would want. That's the kind of parent you would want to be. You know,
Exactly.
because that's the kind of parent that I would want to be. That's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of parent my mom was for me. And of course, I wasn't blessed to biologically have my own children,
Mm-hmm.
but when I see what I can do for my cousins, what I can expose them to, what
Yes.
I can expose my nephew to, my nephew calls my backyard his park.
That's
To
beautiful.
me, that's a blessing because I'm able to show him things and expose him to things that he may not have normally been exposed to. And
Yes.
so that's what we do as parents, right?
Absolutely. I agree with you because I'm constantly thinking about how I was raised and what I could have done differently than what my mom may have done or my grandmother, because you said it, exposure is everything. So when you know you have access and there are no limitations, you're going to try to do whatever you can do to go and live that lifestyle. So I want my daughter to expose herself to possibilities and being able to know that she could do whatever and have no limitations, regardless of what society may say, even my own beliefs at any point, if it's not in alignment with what she wants to do, and just give her that blank canvas. So I totally agree with you. Being able to expose your children to more, becoming better than you is everything.
Lord, Mr. Lord is over here dancing while I'm trying to do coffee and conversations. Now, if I did that to his call, he'd be having a fit.
I love it.
Okay, so tell me, how old is your daughter?
She's 11.
She's 11. So what does she think? I mean, tell me, because for her to see you every day working, I'm sure you work from home, you don't work a traditional job. And I know that's kind of confusing because when she goes to school and
Mhm.
talk to her friends, and like my mom is at home, I mean, like, even think about it before COVID. Now I know a lot of parents are probably home right now,
Mhm.
because of COVID, right?
Right.
And a lot of parents are probably working from home that normally would be going into the office
Mhm.
because of COVID and how things have changed, right? But before COVID, you were already working from home. And so
Yes.
tell me some of the things, because I know she had questions. And so
Yes.
tell me some of the things that she asked you and that she questioned, like,
Mhm.
Mom, why don't you go to work like everybody else? Or what are you doing? Or, tell me what that conversation is with a 11-year-old, because now she's 11. You've been doing this for how long? Not Tava, for
Right.
working from home for you on your own?
About since she's been born, so about to almost 12 years.
Wow.
So she asks questions. She kind of knows my routine. So
Right.
she's like, she knows, oh, you're getting ready for a meeting, right? Oh, you're doing your call now. So she knows to ask these questions, and she knows about all my Tava meetings. If I'm traveling for Tava, she knows when she needs to get her products out. I mean, she could probably do a presentation by herself at this point
I'm
because
sure.
she's always watching. So she knows when she should be sneaking in my office area or not. So she pays attention to a lot. And it's funny because you really never know how much they're actually paying attention until you see them on their own. I remember catching her doing her own vlogs. I went in her room one day and she had her tablet up and she was doing a tutorial on how to do yoga. And I was like, what is this? Telling people to go click her link. I was like, okay. So it's been a blessing to be able to be home,
Right.
to be there with her and see how she incorporates and knows that she could do whatever she wants.
Okay, so tell me about your journey. Okay, so I heard you say that you've been working on your own since she was born.
Yes.
So to me, that tells me that you're an entrepreneur. Like
Yes.
some people just have it. Some
Yes.
people have it and some people don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. I tell people all the time, don't feel bad if you don't have that entrepreneurship skill.
Right.
Because if you did, then when I go to the grocery store, it wouldn't be nobody in there stocking
That's
my
true.
groceries or the electricity company or
Mhm.
the airline. So that's okay, right? But tell me, I don't mind you
Mhm.
sharing with everybody, letting them know from the beginning. Tell me some of the things that you've done
Mhm.
as an entrepreneur to this point of you deciding to do Tava. Let us know what you've been doing as an entrepreneur. What things that you got involved in, and exactly what made you go in that direction. Like, were you doing it before she was born, or did you have a traditional job?
That's a great question. So I started off traditionally, like everybody else, having a corporate job. In my family, we are, bred to go to college, and most of my family members are either doctors or lawyers. And that just never really sat right with me. And
Mhm,
so I would go to work and I would feel like I was being suffocated. I was like,
mhm,
oh my gosh, I know there's supposed to be more. I would go to work and I would feel like a robot doing the same thing over and over again. A lot of my background came in customer service or administrative work. And I was like so bored, but I didn't know where I wanted to be in entrepreneurship. I just knew I had to do something different. And so what happened was I got introduced to the world of direct sales when
okay.
I was about 20, I think I was. And
Right.
when I found out, I was like, wait, people actually live like this? It was a company that did more so, they were online, but they had like this personal development that they would sell as course. And so I went to my first Super Saturday in Miami and I was blown away. And from that point on, I said, I have to find a way to do this. It didn't really go too well, but it opened up the doors. It exposed me, like you were talking about before. It exposed me to other possibilities. And so from
Mhm.
then on, I would still have my regular job, but I would start doing that. Then my very first real official company in direct sales was Artist International.
Okay. Okay.
So from there, it was like, wow, I was doing the corporate trainings in New York City at the warehouse over there. We built a big team. And so at that point, I had left the corporate world.
Mhm.
And I did that for some time, ended up back working again. And after that last time, when I went to my job, I got into sales and I was like, okay, I can't do this. So I ended up doing my own marketing company. So I had a
Mhm.
company called the Leon Marketing Arm, and we did social media marketing, offline marketing, did all of that. And then later on would lead me back into just online sales as a whole. Then fast forward, I ended up writing my two best-selling books and started teaching courses and helping people live out their purpose, create their books, and just started doing a whole bunch of online affiliates and coaching and trading. And so
Mhm.
that's how I've been pretty much on my own for the past 12 years. And now,
Mhm.
almost 3 years, been here at Tava.
That's what I'm talking about. So basically, you already had the drive and a hunger and an
Yes.
ambition and the desire, which is important because a lot of
Mhm.
times people don't have that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's important to have that because whatever it is that you're going to do, you need those things. right?
Yes.
And then you may not know it from, because a lot of people think, oh, well, I have to know everything and I have to understand everything. You don't. You
No.
can learn as you go along. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to be honest and I'm going to be transparent. Okay.
Yes.
Even when we started with Artists International was our first experience personally with network marketing, with multi-level marketing. Kenny has had experience in the past with it, but not on the level that we had in Artists International. And he never really did it. It was more like a direct sales, but
Mm-hmm.
not like you get paid, not the structure,
Building.
like selling water purifiers.
Right.
Back in the day when people used to come and sell those vacuum cleaners or
Yes.
encyclopedias or things like that. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that. And so I didn't understand at the beginning. They had the different ways of getting paid. I understood some of the basics, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really start understanding until I started working the business and making money. And then,
Mm-hmm.
of course, each way you get paid, it's a breakdown for you. Like now, even in Tampa, if you get paid fast start bonus, if you get paid binary pay, it was like a breakdown for you, and you understood where that money came from. And even now in Tava,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand everything in the business, and I don't know everything in the business. And I'm gonna be honest and transparent. You called me the other day, you know,
Right.
asking me, well, okay, well, when we're gonna get the crypto up and going and running, and what? Well, what you have to understand is, like, it is very hard for
Mm-hmm.
Kenny and for me to know everything that's
Right.
going on, because if he's not at the office, he's out meeting people, or he's working at the house, he's on the phone constantly,
Mm-hmm.
nonstop, all day long. And the only way that I would know what's going on is if I am falling behind him, like
Right.
everything that he says, because there is no way that he can come back and repeat to me
Right.
everything
Everything.
that happened, everything that's transpired,
Mm-hmm.
everything that's going on. And I can also say this, even though we work in the business together, because I deal with a lot of things that's going on at home, uh,
Mm-hmm.
his children, other business aspects that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and really, you live in a high rise building. That's really where Kenny would like to be,
Mm-hmm.
because when you have a home, you have a lot of stuff. Like,
Right.
break down, like my AC unit, one of my AC units broke down
Oh,
day
wow.
before yesterday. I had to get it fixed yesterday. Just little things in the house breaking down, and every time you turn around, it's something. It really
Right.
is something. On top of that, my son has a music career that he's trying to get off the ground, that I'm trying to help him out and work with.
Right.
I have another son in Atlanta that has a music career that's going on. You got Sierra with her makeup in Atlanta. So I
Mm-hmm.
just have other things that I'm doing along with Tyler.
Right.
So I don't always have or know all the answers at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is to be able to get the answer.
That's good.
What people don't understand is that it's not about what you don't know. Look, I'm having a senior moment. It's about you being able to go and get the information. And what
Absolutely.
I mean about that is, if you're talking to someone about the business and someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, it's okay to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And say, you know what? I don't have the answer to that question, but I can get
But
the
I can
answer
get.
for you. Let me give you a call back this evening.
Yes.
Get the answer for you. Let me call you back in an hour, or let me call you back in
Mm,
30 minutes, or however long you think it's going to take for you to get the answer. Now, and why I say that is because a lot of times, if you were able to reach me at that moment,
yeah.
okay, and when I answered the phone, I wasn't at home. I was out and about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I got home, really I got busy. I really did. And I
Mm-hmm.
totally forgot. And you send me, this is another thing. This is a coaching moment. This is a teaching moment. And people need to catch these nuggets. She did not give up.
Yes.
She did not give up. When I
Relented.
I told her I didn't have the number, the answer. I told her to call Mr. Lloyd. She said she was gonna inbox him. I said, I'll send you his number. I didn't send the number. And she followed up with me. She didn't wait till the next day, the next week, that same day. She
Yep.
reached back out to me and said, hello, Miss Lloyd. Did you, hello? And see, some of you guys, the reason why you're not ahead, and I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, is because you don't want to do a follow up. You're
Mm,
afraid of what somebody may think or what
yes.
somebody may say or the response, right? And you shouldn't, because the aggressive person is the one that
Yes.
gets it, you know.
Yes.
Don't worry about it, you know. It because also you have to think too. People have other things going on in life. Everything is
Mhm.
not always about you. And I'm human. And I forgot, you know,
Right.
because things happen in life. And also
Absolutely.
another thing is that when I'm driving, I don't look at my texts or
Mhm.
reply to people or so I have to wait till I get home. And I was out and about that whole day, and I'm
Mhm.
just being honest. And so a lot of times people get in their feelings,
Mhm.
things personal,
Yes.
and you didn't even do that. And that's
Nope.
not the first time. In the past, when you've reached out to me, and if I didn't reply, I didn't respond, you just sent it, hey, this
Yes.
is Sharita Leon. I'm, but that's what you should do. Because
Yes.
that's the only way you're gonna get somewhere in life. Listen, people need to quit worried about what people think about them,
Mhm.
what people say about them, because all of that don't matter when it's time to get your bills paid.
Amen,
And a
somebody.
lot of times people want to say money is not everything. You can't, you got to pay your bills.
Yes,
You got to
absolutely.
eat. You got to live. You have to
Yes.
make money. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with being aggressive, because the aggressive person is the one that always wins and
That's
gets
right.
what they want. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
agree.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Yeah.
and I love that about you. I want to tell you that. I
Thank
love that
you.
about you. I love your assertiveness. I love your aggressiveness, because that's what's going to get you what you want in life. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I'm just being real, because people are afraid.
Mhm.
People are scared. And let me just be honest with you. When I first started at Artists International, because I've never been a salesperson and I've never sold anything, so you have the gift of gab. That's
Mhm.
a gift that God has given you.
Mhm.
And everybody doesn't have that gift. You have that gift of being on social media. You have that gift of, doing lives and doing calls. That's not my gift. And I'm fine with that. Right.
Mhm.
My gift is my gift. Your gift is your gift. Right.
Right.
And so I love that you don't mind doing that. And
Mhm.
I love also that even before, because I didn't even know you were participating in the challenge.
Yes.
And when I talked to you last week, you were telling me that you were participating in the challenge.
Yes,
But
me.
what I love is before we even started the challenge, you already
Mhm.
had your own personal goal
Yes.
that you were already working on you. See,
Yes.
you can easily make that money and go run and have surgery.
Right.
I'm saying, but you
Mhm.
chose not to do that. You
Mhm.
chose to put the work in. And
Yes.
I like that too.
Thank you. It's a journey.
It is. It is. And let me say this, because I want to say this too. There's nothing wrong with surgery, because
Right.
I went and got a breast reduction.
Mhm.
There's nothing
I need
wrong with
one of
surgery.
those.
Yeah, we talked about that,
Yes,
right?
we
We
did.
talked about that. And so, but once you get down to the weight that you want to get down to, there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with you going.
Right.
And if you want to get a breast reduction, get a breast reduction. Or if
Mhm.
you want to get a tummy tuck, get a tummy tuck.
Right.
Because I do know and understand that sometimes when you lose the weight, then
Mhm.
you can work out and build muscle, but you can't. Sometimes there's extra skin, or like
Yes.
you and I. Sometimes that you are really busty, and you
Mhm.
have to just you want to just. We had this conversation last
Yep.
year.
Yep. Yes, we
We had an
did.
event. Was that last year or year before? Was that
That was last year. In
was that
Houston.
at Houston? That was at the beginning of last year, though, right?
Yeah, right. In March, I think it was.
March, right? When you came
Mhm.
down and I took you to the airport,
Yes.
and we talked about it. And see, what happens is a lot of people say, your breasts aren't big, but see, you didn't really see them. I made a good habit of camouflaging them,
Yes.
and that's one of the things I really loved about Artists International was that angel bra.
Oh, yes.
That angel bra was a savior for me,
Mhm.
because I would have bra marks
Oh,
in
yes.
my shoulders,
Mhm.
indentions
Yep.
in my shoulders. My back would be hurting, right? And
Mhm.
I would try to practice good posture.
Posture. Mhm.
And also, it taught me how to get the correct bra,
That's true.
right? Because a lot of times we don't have the correct bra. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And when I say that is what I liked about it is it wasn't the sexiest thing in the world,
Right.
but
It did the job.
it held these girls in. It made them look smaller. It
Mhm.
pushed them
And the
forward where I
sides.
can hold my hands down. And
Mhm.
in my back, it was smooth. I
Yes.
didn't have those rolls and indentions.
Mhm.
And see now, fast forward, because you have to think that was in 2008.
Right.
We have evolved in so many ways. Social
Yes.
media, because even back then, social media wasn't as prevalent as
Right.
it is now.
Right.
And so we've evolved in so many ways to
Mhm.
where now you have other bra companies that have come out in bras and
Yes.
it's not always about Victoria's Secret and being sexy. Like I never could wear that kind of Victoria's Secret because they never made the right size cut for me, right?
Right.
And I did a good job of camouflaging my stuff, right?
Mhm.
And then I made sure I tried to keep, my weight down because it was a lot.
It
So
is a lot.
finally in 2019, in August, actually, I decided, forget it. I'm going, at first I was scared because I had keloid skin. I do have
Mhm.
keloid skin. My
Mhm.
ears didn't keloid, but everywhere that like when I broke my hand, the
Mhm.
scars came back keloid.
Oh, wow.
And so that's when I realized I have keloid skin.
Mhm.
And so that deterred me too from getting it, right? And I
Mhm.
know again, and this is another thing people have to catch. It's not about what other people see and think about you, it's what you see and think about yourself.
Yourself. Yes. That is
It's
so
about
true.
self-love. And
Mhm.
so a lot of people was like, well, they, and I was worried that there would be a scar. And they was like, ain't nobody gonna see the scar but your husband. It's not about them. It's about
Yes.
me and what I see. I don't care what
Exactly.
you see, right? It's what I see. And then finally, and to be honest with you, TK.
Mhm.
TK is the one who came and talked to me, told me she was going to get a breast reduction, and she was excited, because she had big breasts, and something just told me, ding, it's
Confirmation.
it's time for me to do it, and I went out and did it,
I know that's
and
right.
I'm glad I did. Did I get keloid? Yeah, I did. And
Mhm.
yes, they have cream, but it can only do so much, right?
Right.
But still, I'm glad because I feel better. So
That's
back to what we were talking about.
it.
That angel bra though was
Yes, it was amazing. But you said something, Miss Shante, that I kind of want to piggyback on, which was resilience and even the gift of gab. So people see me today, and I promise you, I was nothing like this back in the day.
I don't
And
believe
so
that.
no one ever believes me. I was super shy. I was super quiet. I hated sales. I could never speak in front of people. I literally became someone else. And so for the person that's watching that feels like, well, I don't like talking to people or I don't like sales, those are all stories we've been telling ourselves. And a lot of times it comes from our background, whether we had trauma in our life, and that's something that I had experienced, younger on, whether you were picked on in school or different things. And so I started becoming someone else.
Right,
And with that, I gained confidence, I gained boldness, and I became this aggressive person to get to my goals
right.
because I understood that whatever I want, God has already given it to me, but I
Yes,
have to do the work to get it. And when I started seeing how other people were living and seeing what was possible, I realized that I was the only person holding myself back.
yeah,
And so when I realized that, I said, Sharita, you got to make the change, become someone else. And personal development is key. And so as I kept building myself in personal development, building myself in what God was saying about me, I grew with the confidence and being aggressive. Like I will call you until you tell me to stop. I will text
yes,
you until you say no, then I'm
yes.
not going to stop. And that's
And
why
that's
I've been able
good.
to do the things that I've been able to do in life and come back because it's been a challenge. It's been hard. You started off the introduction talking about me bouncing back. I've had to bounce back from a lot of things. I was ran over by an 18-wheeler truck while I was walking and pregnant.
Are
And at the
you
same
kidding?
time,
You were pregnant?
yes, I was pregnant at the time it happened. And I found out I was homeless that same time. So there was so much going on in my life at that one period in time where most people physically would not have made it. Mentally definitely would have tapped out. And so knowing that God allowed me to live and come through all of that, there's no way I could stop without getting to where I need to go. And that
Right.
goal is always evolving, always changing. And that's why I'm really grateful for Tava and for also my diamond, Mr. Clavon Browning, because the whole team of possibilities is that creating a new possibility. And that's exactly what we do every day. We create a new possibility until we get to our end goal. Resilience, not stopping, is something that is ours, regardless of how long it takes. Sometimes we compare our journey to someone else's. Oh, they did this in 30 days, or they did this in a year. That's their route. That's their race. No one can beat you at your own race. And so
Yes.
once I start keeping that in my mind, I'm going to keep going until I get it.
Yes. You know what? You said a key thing, that in a lot of ways can affect people when you do stuff and people compare themselves to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's journey is different,
Yeah.
and what has happened to you in your past life has brought you to who you are today, to your purpose.
Yes.
To your purpose.
Yes.
Because you can't tell me that this is not your purpose.
Yes.
You teaching the people, you elevating people, you motivating people, you helping, inspiring people. All of those things that happened to you in your life has made you the woman that you are today. And that was your purpose, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of times people go through life, they go to college, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
They go to college because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to
Right.
graduate from high school, go to college, get married,
Mm-hmm.
have children,
Right.
and possibly work in the field that you went to college for, or be an at-home mom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's not always everybody's storybook. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so you decided that there was something different out there for you, which is good, because you were designed for this new millennium of people being entrepreneurs,
Yes.
of
Yes.
people deciding that, okay, it's good to have a job, right?
Mhm.
But you have to have something extra on the side that's going to
Yes.
allow you the opportunity to make some extra money, that if you happen to lose that job or something happens, you have something to fall back on, right?
Yes.
And so that's what's happening right now with our people, is we are seeing that we can do other things, right? But also, we can't rely on and think that social media,
Mhm.
that we're gonna everything that goes on social media is real and true.
Mhm.
That social media defines what you should be looking like, what you
Mhm.
should be driving, what you
Right.
should be saying, what you should be doing,
Yep.
right? And everything is so perfect. People look perfect. People Photoshop, all kind of stuff.
Yep.
People tell lies. You
Mhm.
know, people show you these beautiful houses and beautiful cars and all this stuff, and they renting it and leasing it.
Yep.
They don't even have the money to even pay the bills.
Right.
I'm saying, or to be
For
even driving
sure.
around in these vehicles.
Mhm.
So we have to stop. Social media has been good, and social media has been bad. We have to stop looking at social media and comparing ourselves to what we think we should
Mhm.
have, that other people have, or what defines us
Yes.
as a person, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I say this all the time. There's nothing wrong with having name brand things, but
Mhm.
it should not define you as
Yes.
a person. If you don't have these things, then you don't have anything. I'd rather have a bunch of dead presidents in the bank,
Come
or a
on.
bunch of dead presidents out there, making money for me, than to
Yes.
be dripping and draped and all of these name brand things. And then when
Mhm.
I pass away, I have nothing to pass on to my
Right.
nephew, my
Mhm.
brother.
Yep.
If I die before my mother, to my mother,
Right.
and to my stepchildren. I
Mhm.
want them to be able to live a legacy of comfort,
Yes.
And to be comfortable and not have to be out there homeless or
Mm-hmm.
begging people for money, or and sometimes we put our values in the wrong
Oh
thing. You know
yes,
what I'm saying? And so
absolutely.
it's so important. And so a lot of things that you said when you said that you were shy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and but God was preparing you and molding you for
Yes.
this moment here, because I cannot believe that.
Right. No
Me
one ever
too.
can.
But
No
see,
one ever
me
can.
too. Even if I'm not shy, I'm very outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
Always have been. So people thought this would be perfect. Oh, you would be,
Right.
well,
And
I
that's
don't
what I
want to be
thought.
on, right. That's not my thing. I don't want to be on social media and I don't want to do all those things. But I'm very outgoing. I socialize. If you ask anybody who knows me since a little kid, I've always been very outgoing, very friendly, very always had a bunch of friends, a bunch of girlfriends from childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not that front and center person. I'm great behind the scenes. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that because I
Right.
like to make room for people like yourself who this is your gift. And I don't mind saying, you know what, go girl,
Yes.
go ahead and get it. Go ahead and represent Tava. Go ahead and do those lives. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and just be all you can be because that's what I'm here for.
Yes.
That's my gift is to motivate you for me to learn the information. Kenny and I's journey all along the way has brought us to where we are now. I didn't have network marketing experience before 2008. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I had business like
Mm-hmm.
you. You
Mm-hmm.
are a businesswoman. You
Mm-hmm.
have already been in business for yourself. So you already knew what to do. So you just took those gifts and talents
Right.
and experiences, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because you learn things along the way.
Along the
You
way.
work, you fail, you got back up.
You just go for it. You said it earlier. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. You just go. And literally, and I'm sure you, Mrs. Lloyd, can attest to this. Most successful people, they have this gut, they feel it's going to work, and they just go and they'll figure it out as they go. Most of us want to sit and think about it and create all these plans and pray fast and do, and those are all excuses because we're afraid. We're actually operating in procrastination. But when you take that leap and you take that step of faith, God brings the people and the opportunities your way. In fact, let's talk about this because going back to artists,
Right.
when I started artists, I had just come from being homeless. This is right when the whole recession happened, right? So I was homeless at this time. I had just gotten to my first apartment. Well, after being homeless. And so I went into the meeting. My friend Kim Edwards had invited me to this meeting. She told me about artists. I saw the garments were doing, like, okay, I'm going to do this. Mind you, I had no money at all. I was on unemployment, and I think I was getting like $238 a week. At
Right.
the time, I think artists was like $299 to start. So I said,
Right.
I don't care. I have 238. It's not gonna help me anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So she said she'll help me pay half, and I'll pay the other half. So we went to that meeting that night, and I actually ended up, someone paid for me to join. So I told my story that night when they had an opportunity to speak. Here's another quick tip. If you have an opportunity to speak anywhere, open your mouth and tell your story because you don't know who is going to be led to help you. So
Yeah.
I shared, and initially it was just to get a ticket to go to the convention. I think it was in Vegas. So
Right.
Helen Della Hussein gave me a ticket. Then his name, I think he went by Tycoon or something like that. He
I
said,
know.
yeah,
I
with the
can't remember
dreads,
his
right?
name, but I know who you're talking about.
So he said, well, I'll pay for you to get started. So I was super excited. And then Nicola and her husband, they
Nicole
gave me,
Jackson.
yes, Nicola Jackson and her husband, they gave me $300 worth of products to go and start my business. So
Wow.
it went from me making a decision saying, I'm going to do this. I had no money, but I'm going to go anyway. And at that meeting, I was able to not only get money to get started, but products to launch my business. And that first month, I ended up doing over 10,000 in sales because I was on fire. So you don't know what's out there until you actually go and start moving.
Yes. And so it's so funny. I'm listening to what you said. Same thing happened to Kenny and I.
Mm,
Kenny, I met Kenny right when the recession happened because he was a mortgage broker. And
mm-hmm.
he moved from Atlanta to Houston. He didn't know anybody here but me and my friends. And of course, his friend, when he came down here, how I met him was a friend of his that went to college with him, that played basketball with him, worked with me at Continental Airlines.
Oh, wow.
And the girl that he was marrying was working with me too. And
Okay.
Kenny came down to go to their wedding reception. And that's how I met Kenny. And he fell in love with Houston. Of course, I wanted to move to Atlanta because I had never lived anywhere. So I thought, ooh, this is my opportunity, right? But he liked Houston. And he wanted to come here and he wanted to start over. But when he came, recession, industry, the mortgage industry failed, and he didn't really know what he was going to do, right? And so that's how we got involved. And when we started artists, we didn't have the money. I tell you guys, I'm sure Kenny hears you talking. You hear Kenny talking about our angel all the time, BJ Brown. Well, she also was a family friend, right? She tried to sell us the garment, but she didn't tell us about the opportunity because she thought we didn't need the opportunity because we didn't look like we needed the opportunity. What does that look like?
Yep.
What does that look like? That's another thing that people miss out on.
Yes.
Just because, okay, so I wasn't always broke. So I still had a nice car. We had a house, nice house. We had nice clothes, you know, but we were broke. Kenny was riding his truck in the garage because they was trying to repo it. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
That car was paid for, you know? And so she tried to sell me a garment that I couldn't afford to buy. But she never told me about the opportunity. Someone else told us about the opportunity. And what I did was, because I knew her, I went back to her and got started with her. And we didn't have the money to get started. We came to a meeting. She invited us to the meeting. Kenny saw the transformation. He saw that person's personality and their whole attitude, everything go from 0 to 1,000 once they put that garment on in 15 minutes. And he was like blown away. Well, of course, I'm the woman, right? So I should be the one blown away. So because I wasn't a salesperson, I was like, well, what? Like,
I don't get it, right?
Like, oh, no, we're going to get rich. She paid for us to get into the business. And we took that money. She gave us garments and we just took off. That was all we needed to do. We just took off. And another thing is, and what I need to tell people is, she didn't know a lot, but the upline knew.
Right.
Twala and Urban Portis. And they were network marketers. They have been in several other network marketing companies in the past. And so it's not about the person who brings you into the business. It's about you being able to get the information on your own and quit making excuses.
Amen.
You know, you can attest to this. And artists, a lot of the stuff was in Spanish.
Yes.
All of
everything.
All of the stuff that we do for the field, they didn't do that.
Oh no. Oh no, none of that.
All of the stuff that we're, you know, doing all these opportunity calls, trying to do your training calls, trying to create all this stuff for you, these banners for you to be able to attach your face to.
We're spoiled.
We have spoiling these people to the point where they making excuses and don't want to work their business. They making excuses. And so we decided to go back to the basics because it worked for us. But see, the problem is, just like you and like us, we have the drive, we have the desire and the want to do it. We're not sitting around looking for a hand out. We're looking for a hand up. When someone takes the time to invest in you, I talked about this earlier. A lot of times when people don't pay for it themselves, they don't put any value in it. But see, you and I did. We value this person taking their money, paying for us to get in the business. And we can't say $200 wasn't a lot because we didn't have
it. Exactly.
We didn't have it.
Yeah.
So somebody gave us that money. It's up to us to put it to work. And to make it happen. Nobody had to tell me, go read my information in the back office. Nobody had to tell me to go do the research. To learn about my business. That's going to make me some money. Nobody told me to forget it. I'll get somebody to do these brochures in English because they was in Spanish. Nobody told us that. You know what I'm saying? And what people don't understand is when you start doing it yourself, then it becomes infectious. Your team, they
Yes.
follow and do what you do.
Duplication. Yes.
Duplication. If
Mhm.
you're not doing nothing, then they not gonna do nothing. And
Yep.
nothing for nothing. What,
Leaves nothing.
Sharita?
That's it. And that's, you said it. It's ownership. And because most people are used to a job, they think that you're supposed to do and tell them what they need to do. They think that you owe them something. And it's like, listen, we are here to change our lives. You have great support. We definitely have that. But there's a certain part of you that has to show up to
Right,
ensure that when we can't make the business work for you, you
right,
have to actually show up. You have to want it, and you have to be willing to keep going. There are ebbs and flows in life, just like there are in business. And you have high moments and low moments. But what keeps you going is having that goal, being around the right people. And that's one thing that I really love about you, and Mr. Lloyd, is that you guys really give support, and you can tell you actually care. That makes a
mm-hmm,
big difference
mm-hmm.
in building a company, knowing that your leaders and the owners actually want to see you win, that you're doing everything that you can to ensure that. And I can say this for my team, our Diamond, Mr. Browning, our team, our executives, we make sure that we create this family environment so that when everybody wins, this is a career. It's not
Right.
it takes time.
It
But
does.
if you're willing to grow, and you could have a moment like this, it's like, wow, where did these leaders come from? Your
Mhm.
consistency.
Right, right. Well, you said earlier, and that's what I was about to expound on, and then I started talking about something else. Is some people are in this industry for 20 and 30 years before they hit it big.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Houghton Bug says it all the time. He started out when he was like 18 years old. And
Right.
he didn't hit it big till he got to be 30 years
Hmm.
old. When we started in Artists in 2008, he started in Organo Gold.
Yeah.
And so look how long it took. Some people are looking at other leaders and
Hmm.
saying, oh, look, they did this in this short period of time. Well, guess what? We didn't. We started back in 2008 and we've learned along the way. But what we learned is it's not about, it's about knowing how to do business, period. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Knowing, having character when you do business,
Mhm.
treating people the way you really want to be treated and conducting business the way you should conduct business.
Right.
An example. You can't schedule a meeting with somebody at 1:30
Hmm.
and don't show up for the meeting. So if I have a meeting with you and I'm supposed to help you do a three-way tomorrow,
Hmm.
okay, at 1:30. Well, you need to follow up with me to confirm
Hmm.
the day before and the day of,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
Because you want me to come on a call with you to do
Right.
a three-way, or you want me to come and do a type of party for you, or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Follow up.
Yes.
Follow up. People don't follow up. You give people your samples for free, right?
Hmm.
Of course, a lot of people do not value free,
Yep.
right? Unless they pay for it. A lot of times they don't even value what they pay for.
It's true.
That's the truth. I tell you all the time, I take care of my stuff. I
Hmm.
value what God has blessed me with, because the only way He's going to bless me with more is
Hmm.
if I value what I have right here. So
That's right.
whether it's when it was little and small, I took care of it. I cleaned it. I
Hmm.
nourished it so it can blossom into something more.
Yes.
But people are selfish. They're not grateful for what they have now and where they are now. And so
Mm.
why would you expect God is going to give you more? You have to follow up with people. So if you give somebody a sample, you need to make sure you get that contact information so you
Yes.
can call them, follow up with them, and don't ask them, did you take the Basia tea, or did you take the Caprese coffee, or
Mhm.
did you take the flare? Say, how did that flare do you?
Yes.
What was your energy like when you took that flare? Because in your mind, whether they took it or not, you feel like they did, right? And so
Hmm.
now they're going to have to be honest with you. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't take it, or oh, it did this, and this. Because a lot of times you have to come to that person with something positive, because if you don't, it
Hmm.
leaves the door open for them to be negative.
Yes. And most people
So
are.
a lot of times, and because they didn't take it, their first defense is to be negative.
Right.
Because you gave them something. Now you calling them to follow up. And the reason why they got an attitude is because
They didn't do it.
they didn't use
Exactly.
your product that you paid for, that you gave them for free.
Hello.
They just threw it to the side,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then a lot of you give out the samples and don't even get contact information, you know. So how are they going to contact you? Right. If I do that, it's different because they can research Tava. They can find anybody. You know what I mean? That's in the business.
Right.
But when you do it, you want to make sure they come to you.
Yes. And don't leave it in their hands. If you leave it in their hands to where if you just give them your contact information and you don't have their number, they could lose your number. They can never. You want to always be in postured to where you can access them if you need to, and when people see that you're serious and you say, well, okay, I'm going to give you this. What's your number? They see that you're already being assertive. They see that this person is actually going to follow up with me, and they understand this is important. One thing that I can say about Mr. Browning is that when he sampled me the 10-day supply of Vasia before I got started, he was very adamant about me taking it. He was not playing with those samples, but it made me feel like, okay, I gotta take this. This thing must really work. And so when we do that now with people we're sampling, they're like, okay, they see it serious. There's not something. This is my business. It wouldn't be any different if you went to Nordstrom or Costco. There's an expectation. And we set the expectation based on how we conduct our business from that first sample.
Yes. And what we have to do too as people is we have to quit being so hard on people, because I've been to many of establishments and I've had really many products that there may have been issues with shipping, something happened, but that didn't deter me from reordering or revisiting that establishment. But we're so hard and so judgmental on each other, right? Yeah. Back to what I talked to earlier. If I'm not draped in all of this name brand stuff, then you don't think I have any money. I got to be looking like $1 million all the time for you to think that I have some money. It's so very naive. So very naive, right? We need to start teaching our children that that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? That you don't have to have name brand things on. And those name brand things that you have on is somebody else's name.
Right. That part.
Rich.
Exactly. And they're not wearing nobody else's name either. They know what they're doing. That's why if you look on TV, they'll block certain names out, because they won't wear it. I will never forget. I went to, I was doing physical therapy, and in this physical therapy was like this upscale place. They also did yoga and all this stuff. And so I was listening to a conversation that these two women were having, and she was asking the other lady, why aren't you wearing, a particular brand or something? She said, oh, well, me and my husband, we never do that. They're not paying us. I said, you see, they know that they're not out here wearing somebody else's stuff because they're not getting paid for it. A lot of times we want to look rich, and we have this, we literally have $1 trillion buying power, but we have zero negative net worth. So we want to look like the Joneses, but meanwhile, we don't have anything to show for it. They understand generational wealth. They're not out here trying to look rich. They're literally creating wealth for their family, and they don't get caught up in all the stuff that we get caught up in.
The counters. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
The counters and the carpet. So yes. And so I've seen people post pictures and tag Gucci. It's like, did Gucci send you that outfit?
Hello, that part.
Did Gucci pay for that outfit for you?
Exactly. Free promo. But you tell them to put a picture of you and never see it, they're gonna act like they can't do it.
And the thing, and let me tell you this. People always want, oh, well, what's in it? Well, when you drove through at McDonald's, did you ask them what was in them burgers?
Hello.
Wait a minute. When you put on that Gucci outfit, do you know the story behind Gucci? No, you have no idea. Bring to this point. How many of you all have seen the movie Gucci, House of Gucci, that's out right now?
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Did you all know that the owners of Gucci, the Gucci don't own Gucci? The Gucci family, because that's a last name. that the
Hello.
Gucci family does not even own Gucci, that
Wow.
the wife, the husband, who was the Gucci, his last name is Gucci,
Mhm.
wife killed him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see you people, they don't even know
The
the story
history.
behind things. And that's
Mm.
okay. I'm not saying you have to, but you want to know our story.
Right.
You want to know the label and what this means,
Where it came from, the manufacturer.
all of this, but you don't want to know where that Gucci came from. You
Right.
don't know, want to know what happened with that the Gucci family. You don't know nothing about the story. You don't know nothing about the history. You don't know nothing, but you wearing it
Right.
head to toe, sunglasses, dress, purse, shoes, everything.
Hmm.
And guess what? Don't have a dollar in the bank.
That's
Don't
crazy.
own your house. Your
Yep.
car ain't paid for, nothing. Now, of course, where you live, cars ain't even important. You in what you live,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. It'd be a mess trying to. I'm glad I got rid of my car before I moved here. It would have been a hot mess.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let's talk about the subway killer.
Oh my gosh.
But you know what, though? Let me say something. We cannot, things happen every day.
Hmm.
And I just have come to a place in my life where I have this relationship with God that I believe that if it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Hmm.
And so people have to quit being afraid
Yes.
to step out, to do things, to watching to see what's going on in the news, seeing things that's happening, think, oh, I'm not going to do that. Or I'm not going to go there. Or I'm not going to, because things happen. They do, unfortunately,
Everywhere.
everywhere in the world,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But my God, it's like people, mental health is serious.
Yeah, it
Mental
is.
health is serious.
It
And
is.
COVID in our time,
Hmm.
because they say something like this happened, but none of us were living. So
Right.
none of us were. I mean, you
Hmm.
talk about hundred years ago.
Hmm.
And so, and then the world is different. It's a different place now.
Right.
This is something that has been very traumatic for us, that think about the people who have committed suicide, all of
Hmm.
these different things that's happening in life. Let's just talk about with Jada Pitt and Will Smith.
Right.
Those people are human.
Yes.
And just because they are movie stars and actors and entertainers, they
Hmm.
have things that's going on in life
Oh
too.
yeah.
And things can mask those true issues. You
Hmm.
know, being a superstar, being, bigger with, you can assume to be bigger than life, right?
Right.
But still there are issues that are going on that surfaces
Yes.
life as you get older if you don't deal with them.
Hmm.
And that's basically what has happened at this point.
Yeah.
Issues that was in his life
Hmm.
as a childhood
Hmm.
that carried on into his relationship, and not just him, her too.
Right.
Believe her too. And so
Hmm.
when we don't deal with those issues and aren't honest about them, then
They
they
eventually come out.
magnify in our relationship. I'm even
Hmm.
going through it now in my family life, trying to make my family understand the issues and the dysfunctions
Yes.
that we have in life,
Yes.
that they don't have to follow you on generation to generation to generation.
Hmm.
That we have to do something about it, like what you're doing,
Hmm.
showing your daughter that yes, it's important to be educated. We're not
Right.
saying don't go to college and don't get educated, because some people have to go to college and
Yeah.
need that education, because really a lot of times college is about structure.
Yes.
Think about it.
Hmm.
Think about, you at home, you're in high school, your parents are doing everything, but when they push you out the door to go to college, now you have to be the responsible person to
Hmm.
wake up and go to class. Your mom
Yep.
is not going to be coming there, get up, get out of bed, you got to go
Right.
to class. Now it's time for you to be that young adult. That's what college teaches you.
Hmm.
That's what people don't get and don't understand.
Right.
Anybody could be a lawyer. It's
Right.
about you being focused, about you reading, about
Hmm.
you being, doing your work. And
Right.
you don't have to be no great person or no intelligent person to be a doctor or a lawyer. You just have to be focused, driven, and
And
you have to be consistent, and you have to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
disciplined.
Disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be disciplined. And you have to be disciplined in your business, because if
Yeah.
not, then you're not going to be successful. You're just going to be a follower.
Mm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Somebody that just shows up at the events, that's in the audience, that hurrah, rah. And guess what? Let me say this. These type of businesses, network marketing, multi-level marketing, people come for different things. They need that motivation.
Yes.
They need that inspiring. They
Mm-hmm.
need to be need books to read, stuff to be told, stories to be heard, real people,
Yes.
not people you see on social media, people
Mm-hmm.
that you know for a fact that you followed, and you
Mm-hmm.
see their progress, and
Right.
you see what they've done in their lives. People that are touched, that you can touch,
Mm-hmm.
tangible, unlike movie stars and
Right.
entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that the events build beliefs. Like
Yes.
you said, you went to an event. At
Mm-hmm.
the event, somebody signed you up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave you products,
Yes.
to help you get started in your business. None of that would have happened if you didn't show up for yourself.
Yeah. That's it. Showing
You
up
have to
for
show
yourself.
up.
Yep. Exactly. If you look at and this is what we do too a lot of times, Queen Shantae, is that we look at our circumstances and we say, well, there's no way this is going to change. I don't have it, so I might as well just stay here. And so because we keep thinking that way, our belief never changes. So we keep attracting the same thing. And so if you want to attract something different, you have to start doing different things. You have to start thinking differently. And as you do that, things begin to shift and change. The beliefs are built, when you're in these events. Because the truth is, most people are not thinking like us network marketers who want to change our lives, who are visionaries and dreamers. Most people are living in the matrix.
Yeah,
So we have to make sure we're showing up around these other people that let us know, hey, you're not crazy. This is
right.
still possible. Show up. And then you see how, your life can change. And one thing that I constantly tell myself is that you can be up there just like anybody else. If
Yeah.
somebody else did it, you could do it too. It's who I have to work to become and be consistent to get there. But the possibilities are there. And we just have to make sure we show up and not let what we're seeing dictate whether we can win or not.
That is so true. Okay, so tell me how much you love the Caprice coffee.
Oh my goodness. So I drink this coffee now. I do it at night, like I was telling you. And this is one of the reasons why I drink it at night is because, one, it helps me sleep really well. But the other
Really?
thing is, I take it at night because it helps me with not being hungry. So I have a cutoff time for when I stop eating, especially during this challenge. Whew, I've had so many sacrifices during this challenge.
No.
And so the coffee, I drink it at night because it helps me stay fuller longer. And I sleep like a baby. And so I have it then. But usually I take it if I'm feeling like I need to get in my Zen place. If I'm
Yeah,
stressed out about something, I drink it. But it tastes so good. It calms me down and it's helping me lose weight at the same time. It's like a no-brainer. So I love my Caprice. Literally, I
let me
take it
tell you
everywhere with
something.
me.
That Caprice coffee, I've heard people talk about they needing that Caprice coffee like in replacement of medication that they had to take in order
I
to
believe that.
calm them down. And let me tell you something. I've never been a huge coffee drinker.
Right, me neither.
Even my mother, my mother to this day, even
Mm-hmm.
as a child, drank coffee every morning. She drinks her coffee black. So
Okay.
she's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, she don't even drink my coffee because it's instant. She's
Mm-hmm.
a real coffee drinker.
Uh-huh.
And so and then of course she has medical issues. My mother has lupus, so she can't
Oh, okay.
do a lot of the CBDs, and
Mm-hmm.
now what is happening is a lot of things are a lot of things did not affect her until after she had my brother. She got pregnant with my brother when she was 36 years old.
Okay.
So after that, I don't know if he took all of that extra whatever
Mm-hmm.
she had, but she started to develop all of these symptoms from her
Okay.
lupus, whether she did
Mhm.
not develop in the past. And
Okay.
so now it's certain things, it's so many things that she cannot eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so bad for my mom because it's so much that she can't eat. No, nothing with vinegar in it. Well, everything has
Oh,
vinegar.
wow.
Protein. She
Right.
can't have ketchup. She
Oh,
can't
wow.
have anything red, so that means no red, bell peppers, no. So it's a
Mhm.
lot of different things that are affecting her system, right?
I see.
And so she just stays away. She tries to stay strict on what it is
Mhm.
that she should be taking or whatever. And so, but she's a real coffee drinker. And so I started drinking coffee back when I got a real job, right? And the ladies in
Mhm.
the office would drink it. But that's when Starbucks came out. So I would
Mhm.
go get some Starbucks coffee, 5,000 calories in a cup. So I quit doing that. And then
Mhm.
when I got involved in Organo Gold, I liked
Mhm.
their latte. You know,
Okay.
I liked their latte. And that's when I started drinking coffee every morning. But even after I left and after I ran out of latte, then I stopped drinking coffee because I wasn't really a big coffee drinker.
Mhm. Right.
But when I got to Total Life Changes and
Mhm.
I got their Delgado coffee, I
Mhm.
really liked that coffee.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was a good coffee. And that
Mhm.
started me to drinking coffee every day. And that's why we decided to do coffee because I said, okay, people drink coffee every day.
Yes, they
And
do.
I want a coffee that's a healthy coffee that
Mhm.
doesn't give me the jitteries. You know,
Right.
like if I took another cup, I wouldn't
Mhm.
have that jittery feeling. And
Yep.
then, it must not give you that jittery feeling and the caffeine because you wouldn't be able to take it at night and drink
Exactly,
it.
at all. I sleep. So funny. So on today's Thursday. So on Tuesday night, for what I took the coffee earlier that day because I was getting hungry. So I didn't have it usually around 9, 10ish like I usually do. So I was like, why is it so hard for me to go to sleep tonight? I was trying to figure out what the difference was. It was because I didn't have my Caprice. So I said, oh no, we're not doing that again.
Oh
So I
my
made
goodness.
sure that, and I slept so well. And it's funny because now I'm actually waking up before the alarm clock. That's how you know you have good sleep, where your
Right.
body's well rested and you wake up. So since I made the shift of drinking it, and I've been doing this whole month, drinking it every night, I wake up early without the alarm clock. I wake up refreshed, and it's amazing. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's some great testimonies about the Caprice coffee. So you guys got to make sure that you sample your Caprice
Mhm.
coffee out, sample your Fascia detox tea because everybody needs to detox. They
Yes.
need to have the flare
Mhm.
and they need the Valley 30. Let me tell you something. The vitamins are so important. That's another thing. I did not get serious about taking vitamins until
Mhm.
I got introduced to Artists International. You know,
Mhm.
I did not. I didn't. I have never had kids, so I never took prenatal vitamins or whatever.
Mhm.
But what we need to do and what we need to understand is we need to introduce our children to vitamins at an early age,
Oh yes.
not at a late age, because after you've already developed all of these issues, then
Mhm.
it's too late.
Right.
We have to introduce it to our children early. And so
Yeah.
we have to make sure that we're giving them because the kids can take
Oh
that
yeah.
the Sia detox tea. And I
Mhm.
would say at a certain age, especially, you don't want to give it to them too young
Mhm.
because you want to make sure they understand, going to the bathroom and making
Right.
sure that, you know, you don't
Exactly.
deter one thing from the other. I'm not going to say what a short from a far.
Exactly. A whole mess.
And I have a girlfriend whose son, he's in
Mhm.
high school. He drink coffee every day.
Yeah, they starting early now.
Every day.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids are like involved into things that we dare not thought or think. But even the flare, you
Hmm.
can give your children the flare. I would just give them one because it would give them the energy, the mental clarity, and the
Hmm.
B12 that they need. Because think
Yeah.
about it, when we were in school, we used to have gym.
Hmm.
We used to work out, have gym. A lot of times they don't offer that in school anymore. And
Hmm.
so they're not getting those exercises and everything that they need. And they need that energy to help them through the day. And so give your child a flare. At least one. It won't
Take them
be
to the park.
Sharita, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
I'm so
appreciate
honored
you.
to be here. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
we're honored to have you. I was excited because you got to have somebody that has energy, that exudes energy, which you talked about earlier. You attract what you are.
Yes.
And that's the truth. So if you negative, you're gonna attract negative people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're not an aggressive person, if you're a negative person, that's what you're gonna receive back. You know, if you're wondering why you haven't received the right mate, the
Mm-hmm.
right friends, the right
Mm-hmm.
business partners, you need to look in the mirror and check yourself. You know,
Right.
it ain't always the person on the other side. You have to look internally at yourself,
Yes.
and life is about growing and being a better you. There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with it. The things that I know now, like my aunt was on the workout call, workout, what's today? Wednesday. Today's Thursday. That was
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
Yep. Yesterday.
Yesterday. See, time be flying. We talked about if we can go back when we were 20, and somebody said that they wish they could go back, and she was like, I don't want to be 35 again. Well, yeah. And then when she thought about it, I said, yes, you do, because you can do it over. If you could go back and be 20 again, you do it differently. You know, you'll listen to some of the things that these older people told you, not
Mm-hmm.
trying to run you, you know, but
Right.
think about it. They've done it before. Yes, it's a different time and age, and you know, people, these youngsters are doing it differently, but certain things never change.
Yeah, that's true.
Certain
Wisdom
things
is
never
wisdom.
change. Yes, and you have to be, in order for you to get a king, you have to treat yourself and know that you're a queen.
Amen.
More for yourself.
Yes.
Exude that energy. And when you
Yes.
exude that energy, chivalry is not dead. Nothing
Come
is,
on.
God's still opening the door for you.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, and these youngsters, they think they know everything, but they don't. That book and the movie that Steve Harvey made, that
Mm-hmm. How to think like a
like a
mm-hmm.
woman,
Mm-hmm.
that stuff is true.
Mm-hmm.
He is giving you the game of how men think.
Mm-hmm.
It has not changed. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
better go look at the, and this, I just, what made me think about it is I just saw something advertised on social media that it's
Mm-hmm.
been 10 years
Oh wow.
since that movie has come out.
Wow,
But
that was
those
fast.
things, if you guys get that book or just look at the movie 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, if you don't want to read it, that's fine. Look at the movie 1 and 2. And I'm telling you, if you start implementing those things in your personal life, it's going to help you in your relationships as well as your business,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to start thinking differently and acting
Yes.
differently. And once
Mm-hmm.
you start doing that, watch and see what happens. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
I love you. I can't wait to see you. And I already know you're going to win the contest.
Yes. Whoop whoop. Yes, I am number one, baby.
You're getting that $1,000. So all
Yes, I am.
who think y'all get ready to get that $1,000, no, y'all
Nope.
not.
No, you're not.
Serena
It's
said she
mine.
has it in the bank. Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate you too,
I appreciate
Sharita.
you. Love you. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Listen, today is closing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Today is
Yes.
Thursday. Make
Yes.
sure you guys close out strong. So
Yes.
that next Friday's check, because you know the check is always what, a week and a whole.
Yep.
Tomorrow is payday. Look, another thing is, y'all have gotten so used to being paid early that y'all think that that's the norm. That's not the
Nope.
norm.
Yep. I was looking for a banner or something last week and I didn't find one. I should have texted you to say thank you, but I was gonna go and comment on it because we did get paid early last week.
You got paid early. And when that happens, y'all need to start going to social media, because that's not normal. But
Right.
what happens is we get comfortable in our thinking because we think that that's normal, and it's
Right.
not. We always pay early when we know it's a holiday. But a
Yes.
lot of companies do not do that, you know, and that's something to tell people. That's a good recruiting tool to tell people, hey, we get paid early, you know,
Yes.
we got paid on Thursday. If you got paid on your card, if you had the top of card, then your money was there Thursday. But if it was transferred to your bank, boom,
Yep.
Friday,
It was there.
boom, your money was there, right?
Yes, it was.
Exciting. Okay, so you guys go out in strong. What do y'all think? Okay, so listen, let's look at some of these comments. People love the call.
Thank
Tell me what
you.
y'all think about Miss Sharita Leon. Our beautiful queen, close out strong. That's right, Tequila. Close out strong. Thank you, Queen.
My pleasure.
Yes, your call. Let me tell you something. You gave some great information, some great nuggets.
Thank you so much.
Some great just affirming a lot of things that I always say anyway, but it's always good to hear it from other people, right?
Yes.
Yes, Sharita was amazing. She is amazing. And she's beautiful. Okay, let me tell you. I was online again. I ordered a wig, curly wig.
Oh, yes.
Like similar to what your hair is now.
Oh, nice.
But my face is so little.
Oh.
So what I have to do is I have to get my girlfriend, because even if I pull it back, then now it's not fitting on my head.
What if you try to put it to the side?
Well, what I'm gonna have to do is say my girlfriend just cut it a little, like around, you know what I mean? Because I can't wait. I like that little curly little.
Thank you.
I love it. It is so cute on you, and I can't wait. I'm gonna get my girlfriend to come.
Oh,
and
nice.
And
yes,
you gotta trim it around, get around my face, because my face is small, and then I'm gonna fluff it up like you do.
Yes.
Down in the middle like you do, and be sexy, right?
Yes.
I know that's right. So I'll talk to you again soon.
Okay,
I love you, and thank you guys for joining us for Kaprese Coffee and Conversations with Chante Lloyd and my special guest, the beautiful and talented Sharita Leon. I'll see you guys later. You guys have an awesome and amazing weekend. Bye. Mwah. Let's get this video on. Bye.
Come with me, we're tall, but no places too far. Come with me, we're tall, but no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this fly with me, we're tall, but no places too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. Don't need care cash no more. Digital currency on me. Overseas we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top. We'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me. We're tall, but no places too far. Come with me. We're tall, but no places too far to go.